Sometimes you find data that just supports your thesis so well, and it's just uncanny how close the comparison is. I went back to the last time that we had interest rates spike like this. We do have data back in the early 80s. Back in 1980 to 1982, we had interest rates spiking and US home sales dropped sharply. In January 1980, our starting interest rate for a 30-year mortgage was 12.9%. 12.9%, by the way. It went way up from there. We had a max interest rate for 30-year loans at almost 19%. Crazy. Interest rate ended at 16.6% in August of 1982. So from 1980 to 1982, we saw a 32% drop in US home sales. Well, history has repeated itself because in 2022, interest rates rose from about 3% to about 7%. And guess what? US home sales dropped 31% from 2021 to 2023. History is repeating itself. So then we need to think about what's on the other side of high interest rates. Well, from 1982 to 1984, once the interest rates declined, guess what? US home sales spiked and home price appreciation increased. So from 82 to 83, interest rates went down from 16.6% back down to the really low interest rate of 12.6%.
Steal.
And home sales spiked 38% from 82 to 83. What is very clear is that interest rates spike home sales or depress home sales, depending if they're high or low. And this also brings home price appreciation back. We had 4% home price appreciation from 82 to 83. Now, this is across the entire US, so it's very hard for you to see incredibly high spikes. 29% more home price appreciation than we saw in the previous year. So 4% home price appreciation. And guess what?
The coil springs.
There you go, the coil springs. And it's spraying even harder and higher the following year. This is interesting because from 83 to 84, interest rates kind of stayed the same, right? It started 12.6, ended at 13.1. So nothing really moved that much as far as interest rates, but home sales continued to increase and home prices gained another 4.8%, which is actually a 20% gain from the previous year. So home price appreciation was delayed and came back stronger.
The power of the tightly wound coil now springs beyond just the time period of like the first thing. Like once it starts going, it really unwinds because it's been bound so tight.
Exactly.